Hello everybody, this is Steve with Two Flukes Up, and today we're in the lovely city of Vancouver, up in British Columbia. Just finished a whale watch with one of my favorite whale watch companies. I got to know them years ago. It's called the Vancouver Whale Watch Company, and sitting with me here is Tammy today. She's actually the general manager of the overall Vancouver Whale Watch Company. But before we get a little bit further, I'm always so excited that I can't wait to talk about what we saw on today's trip. It was fantastic. What we did was we're going to talk a little bit about your fast boats because that paid off in spades today. Yeah. But what we wound up seeing, my goodness gracious, we saw stellar sea lions mixed in there were California sea lions. Just seeing the difference in sizes amongst them is amazing. One of my very first, I've seen a lot of bald eagles, which I truly love. But for the first time, the naturalist is so great. What an eye. She pointed out to us a juvenile bald eagle. And I had not known that the juveniles have not developed their typical white top yet. So or the tail. And she pointed all of that out to us. Then we went and saw, of course, the famed out here are the killer whales. And what we saw were the J pod. Up in these areas with the resident killer whales, there's generally 3 pods, the J, K, and L. And you know, I still haven't gotten a count yet today, but it's one of the larger families of the resident killer whales. And there's 26 of them, and we saw, I think, 14, 15 of them today. I'm not sure on that count. Spent quality time with them. I'll see if my pictures came out a little bit later. But on the way back, we took the scenic route and got some just fantastic scenery as we're going through in between all of the different islands. And then, of course, the captain was fantastic, and we found 2 humpback whales.
It's a lucky day when you see 2 species.
Yeah, so, and I forgot about the Dall's porpoise.
And you saw Dall's porpoise.
Yes, you know, by the way, fun fact for you, Dall's porpoise is the fastest cetacean amongst all of them out there. A reminder, cetacean is anything that might be a whale, a dolphin, or a porpoise, and they were just having a whole lot of fun bow riding today, and that was just fun to catch. But that was a great trip, but we're here to talk about Vancouver Whale Watch. So Tammy, why don't you introduce Vancouver Whale Watch? What makes it so special here in the area?
Well, first of all, our staff, as you experienced today, the crew out on the boat, all of our staff have passion and work for what they do, and that's what makes a company. It's not just one thing, it's everybody working together as a team. But Cedric Towers, the owner and the president of Vancouver Whale Watch, was the first one to start whale watching from the mainland. And everybody thought you had to go to Victoria, everybody thought you had to go to Tofino, but his thought was with the right boats, you can do it from Vancouver. And we do have pretty fantastic boats. They are fast. They're over $1 million boats, specifically designed for marine mammal viewing, right down to the engines. They're jet-powered engines, so even the noise that it makes underwater is better for marine life than other engines per se. Next year we're celebrating 20 years.
20 years,
so
wow.
We're the original whale watching company, we're the largest whale watching company, we're the most experienced coming out of Vancouver. We're the gateway to the orcas, to the whales, so we're the closest departure point.
Well, I'd like to interrupt you there right now. She talked about her boats, and I don't think she's giving herself enough credit. Because they actually really are special. I was on one of them today, and I was talking to the captain, and he can easily hit 30 knots. I don't know if you can go faster than that, but being in a boat of any size, hitting 30 knots, you are moving fast. And where that's a huge, tremendous advantage is oftentimes if the whales are farther away than you really thought that they might be, you've got the time to catch up to them. But it paid off in spades today because we did get our quality time with the orca. But had it not been for the fast boat, I don't know if we could have spent enough time with the humpbacks. So that paid off well. Now, another point about these boats that I thought was just fascinating was when I first learned about this company, of course we're up in the cold area, so they have to have enclosed boats for that time of year when things are just extra cold. But they took it to the next step And instead of having glass windows surrounding the boats, they're actually made of Lexan, the type of hard plastic. And
They're convertibles.
they're convertible, and what you can do is you can roll those windows just like a normal window, up and down, but they curve along into the ceiling so that, you know, in any typical whale watch boat, you would only be able to lift that window maybe this high until the curve started.
Or some windows go to the side, so you have a double pane
Yeah.
open, double pane open.
There you go.
Yeah.
And so they put a lot of thought to it, which was great. Another thing about the boats that I have not seen any whale watch company do, of all of the companies I've ever been with this, they've got the greatest idea. It's brilliant. A laminated map, a large map on the back of the boat. And what the naturalist does is take a marker and writes down all of the sightings that we've seen and exactly where.
And charts the route.
Yes, and charts the route and recaps everything. You know, up where we are, because of all of the little teeny islands, if you don't live here, it becomes very difficult to really have a true understanding of exactly where you are.
Right.
So that helps so very much. Now, another thing that I want to talk about Vancouver, we keep saying Vancouver Whale Watch. Yeah, I guess in the big picture of things, we could say we're in the city of Vancouver, but we're really not. Let's break that down a little bit, and let's talk about where we are in Vancouver. Are we a suburb of Vancouver?
Well, Richmond is another city, and then you have Steveston Village, which is a historic fishing village, the southwest corner of Richmond. So we're just only 15, 20 minutes south of the airport, and that is a little bit easier for people to sort of orient where we are. So we're just 15 minutes south of the airport, but we have the shuttle pickup from downtown Vancouver.
That was my lead-in for talking about the shuttle service. We are indeed a suburb of Vancouver, in the overall suburb called Richmond, but then another subsection on the water called Steveston Harbor. But what makes it great is there's a lot of travelers, whether they're on business or just fun and family, up in the Vancouver area. They want to go whale watching, but there's no excellent way, or it's difficult for them to get down here if they don't have a car. These guys pioneered the shuttle service. And what they do is they've done it for so many years, they've got it down pat. You give them a phone call, they know exactly where you are, and within maximum, you got to walk 2 blocks to whatever street corner they tell you to walk to.
We have 9 pickups downtown Vancouver.
Yeah, 9 different pickup locations, and it runs like clockwork. It's you would think that people would kind of goof that up a little bit. They nailed it. I do have one personal friend where one of the pickups nobody else was, so they even have Plan B backup plans where they actually have got a contract with a taxi cab company, or maybe it was a limo service, I don't remember. But they came back bragging to me that a regular typical shuttle was not able, so they made it work. You guys enacted Plan B, all for your customer to make it happen.
Right, yes.
And I thought that was really cool. Now, is there anything else that you would like to say about Vancouver Whale Watch that everybody would like to know?
Well, we have a really high success rate, and we're always also the top observers for finding whales out there and reporting all of our findings. Also, our personal company guarantee. Not every whale watching company offers the same guarantee. Should you not see whales, they're whales in the wild. Sometimes they're not around, but our personal company guarantee is that if we have guests that come out on our tour and they don't see whales, they do get to come back again for free.
So a whale check.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
We call it a return pass, and it means they get to come back again for free, and it never expires. So the 2 stories I like to share is we had a family from Japan return 14 years later.
Oh, that's great.
And we had a family this year return from Germany 12 years later.
Okay. So what other trips? Do you do other trips, or are you strictly whale watching?
We're whale watching. We do sea lion tours for usually elementary school groups, April, mid-May. We have a little harbor tours that we do here, 45 minutes, July.
Got it.
We're Vancouver whale watching.
There you go. All right, everybody. Well, I was delighted to have come back here. I've been here 3 years in a row. This is the first time I've actually conducted the interview. You guys have so well earned my 2 Flukes up.
Right.
And just thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming.
Okay, see y'all next time, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.